I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. This is the Billionaire Brown experience. Let's go.
But it didn't end in a smile, it ended in the dying, right? They wasn't ready. Right? So, what do you got to do? Once you become a regional sales director, you don't sit back and relax, right? What do you got to do?
Keep going.
You got to keep going. But we like to keep it simple, don't we? So, what do you got to do? Everybody say requalify.
Requalify.
Requalify. Every month, this needs to be your number one goal. Whether you're part-time or whether you're full-time. You requalify for what? RSD. You requalify for RSD. What do you do?
Requalify.
Once you become regional sales director, Adele, what do you do?
Requalify.
You requalify, right? Once you qualify for regional sales director, what do you do? You requalify, right? Once you qualify for regional sales director, what do you do?
Requalify.
Once you qualify for regional sales director, what do you do? And what does it mean to requalify?
Oh, me?
You qualified, right?
Yeah.
You qualified. What did you do to qualify?
10 units. So 10 more.
10 units.
You got 10, right?
Yeah.
So if that's how you qualified, what do you got to do every month after that?
Yeah, sell 10 more.
Every month, right? Isn't that simple? You qualify, and then what?
You got to requalify.
You requalify, right?
Yeah.
You get cornrows? No, you wear that out, right? But what do? You got to redo it every day, right? So it's just the same thing. You do it once, you chill, go out, and boom, boom, boom. Then the next day, what do?
You got to do it
You got to do it again. Same thing, right? So you got to requalify. Carl has a crazy story, right? He's a bail bondsman, right, in New Jersey, right? But he told this story before where the laws and all the laws are different here in North Carolina. So although he had his license in New Jersey, what did he have to do when he got here? He had to requalify under the new laws. So it's very simple, right? You qualify and then you requalify. How do you qualify for regional sales director? You sell your 10, right? How do you requalify for regional sales director?
Sell 10 more.
Sell 10 more, and then you do it the next month. What do? You just do 10 more. Even if you're recruiting, what do you teach your team?
To get 10.
Do you tell them, hey, when you first get started, what do?
Get 10.
You get your 10. Once they get their 10, what do you tell them to do?
Get 10 more.
Then what do you tell them the month after that?
Get 10 more.
Get 10 more. It's
Get
pretty
11
simple.
more.
Yeah, get 11 more, right? So like Carl was talking, go after a group and get 10,000.
Yeah.
The guy that passed away that we was talking about, Jerome Scott, if you go out on the table, which I really love, shout out to Carl for putting those magazines out there. That was a really good idea. Very good. So if you go pass out there when you leave, you'll see a guy in there, Jerome Scott. Him and his wife, when she first got started, her first piece of business was a group of business of 300 employees. 300 employees. These employees, you're talking about beauty salons, you're talking about barber shops, you're talking about taxi drivers, you're talking about Uber drivers. All of these people don't have benefits. All of them don't have benefits, right? And with this, you see how much this is? This is how much?
$60 tops.
$60 tops. Come on now. So again, so we can move forward, I just got to make sure everybody gets it. So the number one thing that you're not a regional sales director yet, right? So no matter what you do in life, when it comes to this business, what do you have to focus on? Regional sales director. What do you have to do when you first get your 10? You're a regional sales director. So what do you got to do?
Get 10 more.
You got to do 10 more. And what do we call that?
Requalify.
You got to requalify. You're not a regional sales director yet.
So 10 units.
You got to get your first 10. Don't worry about the requalify yet. The requalify comes once you qualify. Carl's already a regional sales director, so what do you got to do?
Requalify.
Requalify. You're already a senior executive sales director. Requalify. You're not a regional sales director. What do you got to do? What do you got to do? What do you got to do? Well, you're a regional sales director. What you got to do? Requalify. Are you guys regional sales director? Not yet. So what do? You got to qualify. Qualify first, then you requalify, right? And then Olivia starts to get excited once you requalify every month, right? Requalify every month because that residual income goes into your what? Your life vested contract, right? You're a national sales director. What do you got to do?
Requalify.
Requalify. You're not a regional sales director yet. What do you have to do?
I have to qualify.
See, you tried to. Okay, that's good. So you're not a regional sales director yet. What do you have to do? You're not a regional sales. You got to qualify. Let's go. All right. So next is.
She said qualify.
That's funny. Okay. Next is personal development. Carl.
Yes, sir.
What was that quote you said earlier? I really, honestly, I wasn't doing that for show. I'd never heard that quote before. What was that quote?
Anybody remember the 3 C's?
No.
It wasn't the 3 C's.
It was the hard.
Right. If you do what is easy, life will always be hard. If you do what is hard, life will become easy. That is a quote from your buddy.
Who's that? Les?
Les Brown.
Oh, I never heard that before.
Right.
That's similar to, and you probably heard this, if you live like no one else today, being frugal, then you'll live like no one else tomorrow.
That's
There you go.
Zig Ziglar.
Yeah.
That's good. So we're talking. Oh, hold on. Before we go to personal development, I want to let me give you guys some tools. Remember, Carl was talking about tools. See, sometimes you gotta let go. What he was talking about was building the business from, the technical side of it. But remember, he was also talking about the effort, right? The work side of it, you're going to have to work some tools. We have some tools, but you're going to have to work the tools, not let them do the work for you, right? So, look at this. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
So big.
Y'all know what those are? Y'all see them around town? What are they?
Yard signs.
Yard signs. Our main goal is to, well, damn, I'm referencing Jerome again. That's kind of weird. I never did it. That's like 3 times and it's by accident. Jerome used to say, expose and close. Expose and close. What we do is we have a way where you can purchase some yard signs. And yard signs, you can purchase them, or you can buy them in bulk, which I think is the best. Or if you're on a budget, you can actually make them. This picture that you see right there, that's about 100 signs. You can't see it all in just one picture, but those are 100 yard signs that I personally made myself. Right? And those, you can get yard signs if you make them for yourself. I have a YouTube video that shows you how to do it step by step. But it's going to be about, we got it down to about $3 per sign to make it on your own, right? $3 per sign is the lowest we got. And we started at like $5, and then we tried to get new material and stuff like that, and then we went down. The lowest it is about $3 per sign you can get. For everything you see on one of those signs, you can do that for $3. But if you buy it in bulk, you can get it $1 per sign. $1 per sign. For 100. Alright, and what you do is, y'all see the yard signs. It's not no secret, right? Whether you see a landscaping business or the tax, you see all of them for the tax refund. Y'all see them? They're taking over the city, right? With the tax refund yard signs. So you can hammer them up. You can put them in with their stakes, but they're $1 a sign. And if you want to know where you can get them, I haven't found a better quality or a lower price. If you can find a better quality or a lower price for a 12, these are 12 by 18s, by the way. They're on sale right now. So if you're looking to really jumpstart this business, I would say go ahead and get yourself some 12 by 18s, $1 per sign. They're on sale right now at a place called Sign Depot. Sign Depot. If you Google Sign Depot, you'll see it right there. It's in bright letters. It's 12 by 18, $1 right now per. They calculate the $1 per sign.
Do you tell them what you want on there, and then they make it and send it to you?
Yep, and I'll tell you right now, if you're looking for the benefits, you use low-cost dental.
Right.
That's your money right there.
Yeah.
That'll get your phone ringing.
Right.
Like you ain't like you get your phone ringing.
Right.
And if you low cost dental.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to do the recruiting, I'm being honest with you guys. I haven't found something that I feel like I can stand on that'll get your phone ringing for the recruiting. That's just me being honest. I've tried a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not to the point because I invest money because I'm one of the leaders. So sometimes I invest money just to try stuff out, but that joint doesn't work. Everything that I've tried so far hasn't worked to the point where I'll tell you, hey, this is what you do. But with the low cost dental, use that. That's going to get your phone ringing. You put out 100 of them. All right. Now the key thing with this 100 is you have to do it within 24 to 48 hours. Right? Because if you take longer than 24 to 48 hours to put out 100 signs,
They get plucked out of there.
well, yeah, they get plucked out, but they also, it spreads out. Y'all know about the compound effect? Okay, the compound effect says if you do something in abundance quickly, your reward is going to be bigger. Right? So don't take a month to put out 100 yard signs. Don't take 3 months to put out yard signs. Don't take a year to put out yard signs. Do it in 24 to 48 hours. That's great to do on trips and stuff when you drive into another state like a Florida or Georgia. Order some yard signs and put them out. As you go each exit, put out 100 signs, flood the whole market. Because remember, like Jerome Scott said, all we got to do is what? Expose and close. All right. So also, what's another tool that works great is Facebook ads. Everybody's on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're on Facebook, right? There's a thing called Facebook ads. Right? Facebook ads are really important. That'll help you qualify and requalify for regional sales director. Right? Another tool that you can use is blogging. Any writers in here? Anybody likes to write? Oh, look at this. That's beautiful. That's really nice. Blogging. Blogging is a tool. And you know how much blogging is to do? It's free. Don't be using that F word in this room. Yeah, so blogging is free, right? Another tool that you can use to get the word out, and I know the traditional stuff, some of you guys are thinking about business cards still. Man, business cards, you're doing it at a very low volume, right? We want to do this business at scale, right? When Jerome Scott says expose and close, he's talking about at scale. You need business cards are good, but not as your main thing. Like you want to blow this thing out the water. Y'all see all the ads for the movie Black Panther?
Yeah.
Like they's relentless. Y'all know Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V?
Yeah.
Okay. Gary V, he's exposing his book everywhere. Right? So another place is creating a YouTube channel. Right? Another thing is creating a podcast. Right? Another way is Facebook Live. Right? Another way is what? Instagram. These are all, I'm only talking about free things, right?
Right.
Free.
Don't use that F word.
Yeah. That was good. I got a sign for you. I'm going to give you one of them. That was good. All right, so we got podcasts, we have YouTube. These are all free. Instagram, Facebook Live, Twitter. There you go.
All the social media.
That's what Donald Trump is using for his marketing. Twitter. Right? Then Twitter. Throw out them tweets. What else? Oh, you got LinkedIn also. Right? LinkedIn. You got Craigslist. Right? Craigslist.
Definitely.
You have networking events.
Yes.
Right? Networking events.
Networking events. Like, they have free events out here.
You guys go to like your PTA for your kids. You guys go to your kids doing sports and stuff and different things. That's an opportunity to talk to people, right?
Fundraisers.
Hey, how you doing?
Other free
Us and
events.
flyers.
For the community.
Community events,
The booster clubs at school.
booster club at school.
Health fairs.
Fundraisers.
Oh, there she go.
Job fairs.
Rosalind, I've had so many
Yeah.
leads based off of going to
Yes.
her events.
Yes.
Like she finds the events like where it's healthcare events you just said. And there's one that you have coming, I just saw it.
March the 21st.
March the 20th, and she opens it up to
Fayetteville, North
everybody.
Carolina, so if you want to
Where?
join me, just let me know.
Fayetteville.
What is it, Fayetteville? Fayetteville.
Yeah.
I went to that one. I went to one.
Yeah.
So healthcare events, these health events, mind, body, and soul type of deals. You want to get into those things. Anybody else have any other thing?
Veteran job fairs.
Veteran job fairs,
Bulletin boards.
bulletin boards.
Like at the grocery store.
Okay, bulletin boards,
Laundromat. Word of mouth.
bulletin boards.
Yeah.
What is that?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. I'm surprised Carl didn't say this one, but I'll take it for you. His 3-foot rule.
3-foot rule.
Apparel.
Oh yeah, apparel.
Like shirts. And
Yep.
they all
3-foot rule is when anybody who's in 3 feet of you give them something. Business card, sizzle card, whatever. Right, a brochure. 3-foot rule. You're in the grocery store. Somebody's behind you. Here, would you pass this on if you know anybody we can help? You're getting your nails done? Rosalind is a master at that. She'll be getting her nails done, talking to the woman next to her, getting their information, sharing, boom, boom, boom.
Drop a card every time you get in a parking lot. Put 10 cards on 10 cards.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Exactly. You got to do it at scale. Get yourself, members like here was talking about those Office Depot discounts we get. 3 cents a copy. You could put 4 to 12, one flyer on one sheet. You just got 4 to 12 flyers for 3 cents. Right? And we have templates and all of that stuff. What's our training site?
Millionairesintrainingteam.com.
Millionairesintrainingteam.com. And there's templates and all that good stuff on there for your social media.
Can't you use Canva?
Huh?
Can't you use Canva?
What's Canva?
It's a website where you can go make flyers. They have templates and you can just put your information in it.
How do you spell it?
Hold on, I gotta write it down.
Is it free?
CANVA.com. Yeah.
CANV.
VA.com.
Okay, that's a new one. I didn't know about that. And it's free.
It's free. You can make
Yeah.
Facebook,
Like the
The-
shape of it. The
the
cover.
cover photos, or you
Okay.
can make flyers or anything on there.
Canva.com.
On the computer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's really good. That's good. So Canva.com.
Oh,
Boom.
you can make
Okay, so Canva.com. Okay. All right, so personal development. Oh, this is one of our sizzle cards. If you're on Facebook, I don't have the website right now.
RJ Marketing.
Oh, RJA Marketing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
RJA Marketing. So you can see, I use this on social media, but this is an actual card.
Inc.com, sorry.
Say it again.
RJMarketingInc.com.
Okay. Or Marketing
Or just
Inc.
RJ or RJA.
RJA, sorry.
If you Google RJA Marketing, it'll come up. And then you can contact them, email them, or call them and say, hey, I want this. But this works really good. So you order these by like 12,000. Because remember, we do it at scale. Right? So if you got an expo coming up here in the city, or what's the fair in the summertime, the state fair, you may want to get 12,000 of these for like $150 and just go through. Not to have fun. One day you go with the family to have fun, but another day you go to that expo, because there'll be millions of people coming to those things. So 12,000 ain't nothing. Right? So you just go and you can order this. This is just an idea. This is my card. Okay? And I also use this on social media. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. What else? Okay, so now let's go to personal development. Okay. Everybody, does anybody not know what personal development is? Have y'all heard of personal development?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Not really? Okay, so some of us have
Heard it
not.
today. I brought it up, right?
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so personal development. Personal development starts up here. Okay? That's what it is. Personal development is, it's an opportunity to think different than other broke people you know. Right? Would we agree most people are negative?
Yes.
We agree, right? Most people are negative. Now the other thing is most people are negative and they don't know that they're negative. Right? Because there's an old frog story, right? They say you put a frog into a pot of water on a stove, you turn the heat up a little bit, the frog's going to swim around, right? Same frog, same pot, same stove. Frogs turn up the heat up a little bit more, frog's going to swim around, right? Same frog, same pot on the same stove, frog's going to swim around. You turn it up a little bit more, right? Same frog, same pot on the same stove, turn up the heat now, it's at a boil. The frog's going to swim around. But by the time it realizes that it was too damn hot, it's dead. So I say that to say, we could be, some of us are negative, and we don't know it. He said it. Some of us are negative and we don't know it. So, personal development. This is what it is. Books. Right? Books are important. And if you don't believe me, go to the 5. I always say, if you don't believe me, just check your environment. Not on some judgmental stuff, but just like, yo, if you know somebody who's broke, like if you are friends with somebody who's broke, I ask them like, yo, you read any books? Like, what book are you reading? And if they say no, guess what? You should do the exact opposite. So books, right? And it's the same thing. You go to successful people that you know. Ask them like, yo, what book are you reading? And if they say, oh, I'm reading this book, then you should do what that person. I'm telling you, most of the people, successful people you know, read books. Yeah. Most of the unsuccessful people you know don't read books. Now there was an old show Gil Noble used to have, one of my favorite media personalities, right? Gil Noble had a show called Like It Is, right? Like It Is. Now I'm just giving you guys the cold facts, but this is personal development, right? Personal development. Go check your surroundings, right? Ask. Carl mentioned him earlier, right? Ask your friends, have they ever heard of a guy named Les Brown? Just ask them. Go to and don't tell the people, because then that's being on some. I think that's invading other people's space and disrespecting what they do with their lives. But just on your own privacy, just make a line down a piece of paper and put successful and put unsuccessful. And just start naming names with no judgment. And then ask the people on the unsuccessful side, have you ever heard of somebody called Les Brown? And if they all say no, then guess what? You should get to want to know who Les Brown is. It's really just that simple. What else are we doing? Magazines. Right? Magazines. Again, draw a line down the middle of the paper. Unsuccessful, successful. Unsuccessful people typically, not always, look like this, but inside, they're like this. See, and the thing is, unsuccessful people will trick you. They're really good. No, I'm serious. And it's only, they're good because they're the majority. Right? Successful people are the minority. But unsuccessful people rule the world. Like, we dictate what's going on, right? That, like, there's a guest here earlier today. The barrel of cash. She left 5 minutes before the barrel of cash was over. You think I'm going to convince her to stay? Like, no, because she don't get it. Right? But unsuccessful people rule the world. Majority rules. Majority rules, right? Right? Majority rules. Remember okay. So, books, magazines. So there's some magazines that you can get. But there's some books you can get also. Some of the books, we talked about The Second Chance earlier, right? There's another book called Think and Grow Rich. Okay. There's another book that's really good called Your First Year in Network Marketing. There's another great book called Crushing It, which I was just talking about. Gary Vaynerchuk is just coming out with. It's called Crushing It. There's another great book out there called The Richest Man in Babylon. There's another great book out there called, well, you know what? I'm going to be honest. There's a book that Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump wrote together. It's called Why We Want You to Be Rich. And it's actually a really good book. I would say you should read that too. So there's a listing of some great, and what you do is you go to Barnes & Nobles or you go to Amazon and you figure out, you go to the personal development section. They actually have it, or self-improvement or self-development it is. And you just go and look at and pick out some books. Magazines, you can do, there's a magazine called Rob Report, right? And there's a magazine called Success Magazine. Alright, so start changing the things. Okay. That is personal development. Personal development is also making sure that you drink water. Right? Make sure you drink water. Make sure you drink water. I know y'all don't like to do it. I know y'all don't like to do it. Y'all rather drink a cup of soda.
I do water.
Sweet tea.
Yeah.
Gotta drink water. Right? Oh, here's another thing, and then we'll move forward with some Q&A. This right here is a profitable tool. That, again, go to your unsuccessful people and ask them, can I see, what type of calendar do you use?
Nah.
Where do you keep your appointments? Right? What appointments you have today? You got any appointments today? Go ask the unsuccessful people that you know. This is basic stuff. No judgment. But just ask them, like, what do you got going on today? They don't know. Another thing, goal setting, right? Go ask your unsuccessful people. What type of goals what are your goals for this month? They got resolutions when the first of the year start, but what goals?
Right. Right.
This is a new month. What goals do you have?
Exactly.
And if your unsuccessful people say they don't have what?
Goals.
They don't have goals, then what? You need to start setting some goals. See, the unsuccessful people, they're very nice people. Loving people. Some of them are family and friends. Some of us. But if we do what they do, we're going to get what they get.
Right.
Right? Like Les Brown says, you buy somebody's opinion, you got to also buy their lifestyle. Some of us are taking advice about finances from some poor people. All right, let's go with a Q&A. Let's take a few questions. And then we're going to do some... all right, yeah, we're good on time. Any questions? What was your question? Yeah.
So to get to the regional sales director, 10 units. So my brother buys the least expensive dental one. That's a unit, right?
There you go.
Okay. Simple question, simple answer.
Yep, boom. Any other questions? Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed the part about the requalifying for RSD. And I was confused about what that meant.
Okay.
Just, you continue to get 10?
Yeah, just 10.
Just to make sure. So what happens if you don't get 10 the next month?
Olivia's going to be very mad at you. Now, if you don't get 10, nothing happens. It's just a way to simplify the business.
Okay.
But since you asked what happens, let me also give you some context.
Okay.
Because what happens is if you do it for 12 consecutive months, if you requalify for RSD for 12 consecutive months, at the end of that 12th month, the company is going to send you an additional bonus of $2,500. That was a good question because I didn't say that earlier. So requalify, you do it the first time and you do it 12 consecutive months. On the 12th month of completion, they're going to send you an additional $2,500 check. So that's what happens. Any other questions? Yes.
So would that be like business on my own? Would I consider that, or
A tax question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tax question is 1099.
okay?
But that allows you to write every single thing
Yeah.
that you do. Your gasoline, your food.
All of that. I mean, and it's a home-based business. Home-based business is number one.
So if I travel to South Carolina for a meeting,
Right on.
Even if you didn't go for a meeting, but you told when you went to South Carolina in your scenario, but you tell somebody, you maybe take someone to Starbucks for 30 minutes. You can use as a tax write-off. You go to, she just said a cruise. Like we would go on these cruises, right?
Yeah.
But to make it a tax write-off, we would have a meeting on the cruise, just on one day.
Right.
On one day, we would have a cruise for like an hour, and then we were able to make it a business trip.
okay.
So there's ins and outs that you can actually do. Same thing with your haircut, some clothes. Like if you go buy a suit or something, you can write that off. So there's good stuff. You'll get more of that once you get involved in the business. That was a great question. Any other questions before we move forward?
Question?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you spell your name, by the way?
ASS as in Sam, I'm gonna tell you the whole thing.
Okay.
KOU. Then I cut it off.
Say the name. How you spell it?
The whole thing?
Yes.
Seattle.
ASSIAT. Oh, you. Oh, nice. Okay, your question.
Alright, so my question is, if like they call you and they would like to enroll, would they be like getting some insurance card or like something to show to the doctor?
Yes, they'll get a card and they'll get a welcome letter.
Oh.
So her question is, once you enroll your brother, like you just said, he tries out the plan, what does he get? In the mail, it takes 7 to 10 business days for them to get it.
The card, but it's still active, right? They get a number when they sign up, I'm guessing, right?
Dang, Joe!
Was Zakira said that? Yes, she did.
No, I did not.
Okay, yeah, that's true. It's active right away. Yeah, it's active right away.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go, right there. That's the card that they'll get. Is your address on there?
No.
If you don't mind passing it around, everybody can look at it.
Is that for the medical?
Huh?
Is it for only the medical, dental, and vision?
Whatever they get, they'll get the card specifically for that. That's a great question. And it takes 7 to 10 business days for it to get to them. You guys are helping me out. Like, this is really good.
Thank you.
That's a really good question. What was the other? Yes.
Oh, go ahead before you.
No, you go.
I just want to know what was the name of that book that you said Donald Trump.
Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. It's Why We Want You to Be Rich.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Yes.
Once we enroll in this, if I was able to pay that money today, you're enrolled in the.
Of course.
You're a member of.
Of course.
The program.
Of course.
Kids.
Everyone in your household too. Yeah.
Even that one that you just take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone in the household. With all of our plans, whether you're an individual or a household, the price is the same.
And it's the
That
same
makes more
card.
sense now.
Here's another important question here. She just said, I said individual or household, our prices are all the same. And then she said one card. Everybody gets a card, but the same name appears on all the cards. But when you take an application, they're filling it out online on your website. They put their name and their date of birth for each person in the household. But when that package comes in the mail for them, it's one name on the card, the primary. But they'll send, if there's 5 people in the house, they'll send 5 different cards, and it'll be the same name on all of them. So if your customers ask, why isn't the name, just say you'll get one card, but all their information is on. When they go to the dentist, they call this, all their information is in. Yeah.
A website, is that included in?
Yes. As soon as you get started, you'll get a website 30 minutes later with your name on it. It's ready for your brother to get started and try out one of your plans.
Okay.
Yeah. It works quickly.
And it's preformed, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we all have the same one.
Yeah.
All have the same one. Like how you always talking about McDonald's, and it has the same system, same website. Just your name is on one, my name's on the other. Yeah. Alright. So, alright, let's go. Alright, that was good for Q&A. Good questions. Let me show y'all this real quick, and then we'll go to some meeting etiquettes. We'll finish it up with meeting etiquettes. Alright, so look at this, guys. This is very important. Because what you don't want to do, yeah, I got you. Ooh. Okay, so what you don't want to do is, here's something to write down, to remember in your business, no matter how much money you want to make in this business, your time is the most valuable thing. I may work part-time, you may work full-time, but I may make more money than you. But it's all based on this, right? We expect for everyone to sign up, but we wait for no one to sign up, right? That's the purpose of our calendar. If they're not interested right now, we got to keep it moving. 3 to 5 minutes. If you're taking more than 3 to 5 minutes to share the benefits and explain the benefits, you're wasting your time. 3 to 5 minutes. If you're longer than 3 to 5 minutes, you're taking too long and you're increasing the chances of them telling you no.
Right.
So it's just like you're wasting your time to be rejected.
Time kills deals.
Right? Like my biggest thing with being pulled over by a police officer is not the fact that they're going to give me a ticket. It's the process of how long it takes. Like, as soon as you pull me, just bring the ticket with you the first time. And go on your way. But no, it's, let me see, license, registration, they got to go back to the car, they run the numbers. No one, they was running them all the time anyway.
Right. You go whether they got to size you up.
Right.
If you want it or not.
Or if they want to shoot you, right? Nah, I might let them go. But yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want to waste your time. You expect for everyone to sign up, but you don't wait for anyone. Even Aunt Betty,
Right.
even Uncle Tom, right? You don't wait. Follow back up. Follow back up. Because as they say, the fortune is in the follow-up. So let's look at these numbers real quick. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Remember we was talking about majority rules? Most people are unsuccessful. Most people aren't disciplined. Most people don't follow up. Well, look at that. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. That means they give up, right? After the second time. They're excited. They understand. They heard me just say the fortune's in the follow-up, so they follow up that second time because they don't want to not follow up. So they say, I'm going to follow up the second time. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Remember, and when we're talking about contacts, we're not talking about convincing.
Right.
You're not trying to pull up on people, right? At their house, like, yo, you say you're giving them benefits? You're not sending hate mail, right? You're not sending hate text messages, right? These are just content. You're touching it. You're touching it. Ooh, touch. Hey, you told me to follow up today. Are you ready? No? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Hey, yo, you ready to get started? No, not yet? Okay. Boom. And you're doing it that you're not beating them in the head. Right? Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 10%. 10%. Right? 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 2%. 2%. 2%. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. And they spelled that wrong. Did anybody catch that?
Where?
They spelled fourth wrong.
Oh, yeah, they forgot to use.
80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. 80%.
80%. Somebody said, how many times follow up?
5th to 12th. 5th to 12th.
So is it safe to say on the 13th contact it's going to be a guarantee?
Not pretty. Well, it's 80%. Yeah, it's very likely. Very likely. All right, and then if you need one of these, once you get on the team, we'll get it to you. This is very powerful. It's called a no sheet. Most of you get into this business to hear yeses, but the most successful people, as you just saw with these numbers, the most successful people get paid for how many no's we get. Right? How many no's we get. All right, so what we'll do now is we're going to finish it up with some meeting, well, how to plan for the next event. How do you plan for the next event? You just invite people to come. Our next event is March 3rd. So don't just come by yourself, bring somebody. Right? Bring a few people with you March 3rd. We do it the first Saturday of every month. Bring somebody with you. Because it ain't no fun if what?
The homies can't have it.
The homies can't have it. We got to bring guests. Bring guests. If you want to participate, if you want to do something in the meeting, let us know. Just like there was a couple here, they've been coming the first, this is like their second time, they're learning how to do a meeting, right? Because they're in South Carolina. But if you want to do anything, you got to let us know. Columbia, there you go. All right? So that's the next event, March 3rd, right? March 3rd. Now, let's do some meeting etiquettes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is that here?
Yes. Yeah, same. We ain't going, we're right here all the time. Okay, so some meeting etiquettes would be, all right, what time we got? 4:01? Oh, shoot. All right. We'll do this real quick. All right, so some meeting etiquettes is, let's do bathroom. Okay? If you have a bladder problem, when we have our meetings, what you want to do is you want to sit in the back.
Right.
Right? Also, if you have an attitude problem, it's not funny. We all have them, right? We have bad days, right? If you have an attitude problem, you sit in the back. Right? You sit in the back. You have a baby. You know where they were sitting? They were sitting in the back. Right? You have an issue. Or a thing that's not an issue.
Distraction.
Yeah, you have a distraction because this is business, right? So if you have a distraction, come on in. Just sit in the back.
Right.
Right? So that's a meeting etiquette. Another thing is participation. And I know Zykira spoke about that. She kicked us off talking about that audience participation. That's really big. Right? When you see us doing these presentations, especially our presenters, they're going to do the same exact thing every time. It's going to be the same jokes. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be the same thing. But you know what you got to do? You got to act as if you've never seen it before. Right. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to be like, oh, you're about to do that party. I hate it. Here it comes. Look. We're going to do it now. Look. Oh, he didn't do it the same way. Oh. Right, so audience participation. Another thing is, look at AJ right now. Stay right there. Look at AJ. You see AJ? Look at AJ. Look at Joe. Look at Joe. Look at AJ. Look at Joe. Look at, what's your name? Kanisha. Look at Kanisha.
I invited her.
Notebook, pen.
Look at this. Look at it. Look, you see? Anybody notice anything with these people?
Focus.
They're focused and engaged and they have pen and paper.
They're on the edge of their seat.
They're on the edge of their seat ready. As if this is the first time. But the key to your success for a successful meeting to grow is to treat every time like the first time.
Jay-Z.
Treat every time like the first time. So those are just our meeting etiquettes. Again, if you want to get down with our team goal, as we have here, our team goal for March 3rd is we want to have 35 guests. 35 guests to be here. 35. How many guests are we going to have March 3rd?
35!
35 guests. And our goal, our team goal, is to have 20 benefit consultants on March 3rd. When's our event?
March 3rd.
How many guests are we going to have?
35.
How many benefit consultants are going to be here? 20. Okay? So, that is it. We're going to go get something to eat. I can't end this meeting without giving a shout out to the team of people that put this event together. And that would be, starting with the door, that would be Michelle. Did a great job. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's also give a shout out to Robin Perkins for the welcome. Let's give a shout out to Zachary Casado for the welcome. Let's give a shout out to Carl Ryan for the clothes. And let's give a shout out to me. When are you getting started? When do we have you fill out your application? Oh, thank you.
It could be before then, so.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Where are you? You're in Raleigh?
Apex.
How far is that?
20 minutes.
Okay, nice.
South.
What are you accustomed to doing?
I've sold cars for the last 6 years.
Cars? Used cars?
New, used, whatever. But I gotta stay busy, man. I gotta stay in front of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of these dealerships, I just can't stay in front of enough people.
How much were you making? On average?
Well, so many, all the dealerships have such different pay
But past
structures.
6 years,
But
about how much?
40 grand a year.
Okay, for before or after taxes?
That would be before.
Before. Oh, so that's about what? 27 after taxes?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got. I'm telling you, go to.
A couple of years were great, but it just. Again, it was a lot had to do with.
But you was working
pay
full
structure.
time to do that.
Oh,
I do part time doing that.
half.
I do part time doing that.
Full time and a
So
half.
what I'm gonna do is, did you fill out your app?
No,
You didn't fill it.
the money yet.
No, fill it out and put the date on it, just like the other lady.
All right. Well, I want to do the.
Fill this out right now,
One,
and I'm gonna give you
one
something.
with the 319.
Yeah,
I want a full package.
I'll put the 319 on there for you, but fill this out right here. I'm gonna give you something to leave with because I want you to study it.
Okay.
While you're not getting started, put the
Right.
date on here.
All right.
Put your card information, all of that.
Yeah.
And we'll put it on that date. But I'm gonna give you a brochure.
Okay.
I want you to study it because you're a sales dude.
Yeah.
I want you to be a top salesperson in this Raleigh market.
Yeah. I'll be that guy.
But you're gonna have to selling cars. One of the biggest challenges is dumbing it down.
Sure.
It's not a hard sale. I want your appointment book to be filled with hundreds of people every single week.
Right.
With a car, you're spending a lot of time with one person to make sure that you got to follow through. This is a little plan. This little plan could put an extra couple $1,000s in your household, like within your first 30 days.
Okay.
Fact.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you this. Fill that out. I'm gonna give you this, and I want you to study it.
Yeah.
Show me. I keep telling you that.
Bad credit affects where you live, what you drive, and even your current or next job. With so many frustrating issues that happen in life, we can help you find relief. Text 480-358-7725 today. Not only will we fix your credit, but we will educate you so you can educate your family. Now back to your favorite podcast.